Structure model. Structure model. Structure model. You see what I did right there? Eyes down right to up left. Years of training. Could have hurt myself, but no, I know what I'm doing. Why? Structure model. I did that without cracking a smile. Aren't you proud of me? Years of training. Last week, or last time, I talked about the structure of a book and how you can take that structure and make it more easy to write your book. Well, I got lots of feedback from it, and most of the feedback said, hey, why don't you go a little bit deeper into the structure of a story? So I thought, why not? Of course, I had to start it out with, a little runway action, but hey, work with what you got. Oh my God, I'm kidding. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into the structure, like a little fish swimming into the ocean. One of the things I want to talk about is something that I have run into a number of times. I get a lot of words coming across my desk from new writers, most of them wanting me to read what they've written, to give feedback or whatever. One of the things that I have noticed of late is a lack of understanding of a paragraph. Everybody knows what a paragraph is. It's a collection of words and sentences. That's it. It's a paragraph. No. That's not the only thing that a paragraph is. A paragraph is a very specific portion of a book that is used as a very important tool for the writer. Now, to break it down into its fundamental piece would be to say that a paragraph transport a thought from writer to reader. It is a way to get a thought across, a single thought. And that's where the biggest problem that I see comes in. On a number of occasions, I have witnessed writers going on with their writing, blah, 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 blah. They start a paragraph, blah, blah, blah. And within that paragraph, there's a number of thoughts. And that paragraph will go on and on and on and on and on, almost like it's a stream of conscious rambling of a character or the author or the narrator or whatever. No, mon frère. Lesson the first. Let me give you an example of how a paragraph can be your friend. My cats, just a bit ago, were eating their own food and they decided, hey, I want dry food, or I want some canned food. So they all came up to me and they looked up with their big eyes and meowed and meowed and meowed, and I got the idea. So anyway, a paragraph, did you catch that little lesson there? See what I did? I was kind of rambling on and then I switched gears really fast, but I kept on rambling. Now, to the untrained eye or the untrained writer, that could have very easily been one single paragraph. But the truth of the matter is, I changed thoughts there. And when I change thoughts, I tap that little enter key and I start a new paragraph. So if you go back and you read your words and you want to know if you're using the paragraph properly, check to see if your narrator or your character or whatever has changed line of thought within a paragraph. If so, you might need a return there. But there's always but. Always but. The idea of a paragraph break is not only limited to change of thought or change of character or perspective. One of my favorite ways to use the paragraph break is for rhythm. One of the things that I do not ever want to do is write a predictable book, write a predictable paragraph. And to break that up, to break up the monotony, I'll use a paragraph break. I'll be talking along and then bamf! New paragraph. Now, a little lesson there. That bamf, that one word, one single word, could very well be used for emphasis. So I do that a lot. I'll have a paragraph break and then I'll do a single sentence and back on to another paragraph. Or I'll do a paragraph break, bam, one word, one sentence, back to paragraph. Or mix it all up. Because I like to keep my rhythm shaken up. I don't want to keep going driving through my book in a 3/4 or 4/4 rhythm. Because, you know, that rhythm, over 60, 70, 80,000 words, you know, 300 pages, can get really monotonous and boring. Of course, if you're a writer who happens to have an exquisite command of the language, that's a different story. But, you know, you've read those books before. You open up the page and it's nothing but paragraph after paragraph, long, drawn-out paragraphs. And you're like, when am I going to get a break? On top of that, when is the character going to get a break? When does the character or the narrator get a chance to breathe? See where I'm going with that? So, the structure of a paragraph is incredibly important to the inner workings of your story. Use it for effect, and use it for change of thought, and perspective change, and character change. Use it. It's a very powerful tool that is so often forgotten. Have you learned your lesson today? You, back there in the back row with your finger in your nose up to the second knuckle. What have you learned? Okay, enough with the lessons. Why? Because I have a new book coming out. I'm not very good at the book launches. I often consider myself a kind of a launch ninja. In the darkest of the night, with no one around, I sneak up to my computer and tap publish. And I sneak away and nobody is the wiser. Yeah. Okay. Now I've embarrassed myself. But I have a really, really special book coming out. Yeah, I know, all books are special, blah, 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 blah. No. This book is super duper special. This book, the awesomeness of this book, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it go to 11. Why does it go to 11? Because it stars the UK rock sensation Die So Fluid. Now, I have to confess that I have been a fan of theirs for a very long time. And one day I was jogging in the park, and in my headphones I was listening to their album, The Opposites of Light. Very good album. Buy it now. As I was listening to that, I was really focusing on Grog's lyrics and her words and her melodies, and I realized there's a flippin' story in there. And I think I need to be the one to tell it. Wow, yeah. So I get home and I had actually communicated with them before because their song, The World is Too Big for One Lifetime, helped to inspire a portion of my book, Among You. And when that happened, I got in contact with Grog, and you know, we started chatting, and I managed to get her to record "You're Listening to WZMB," you know the words. And so after that jog, I went back, came home, and I emailed Grog, and I said, I have this idea. It may sound crazy, but I want to make you guys, I want to immortalize you guys in fiction. And I told her the idea for the book, and she loved it, and I wrote it. I sent the rough draft to them, and they loved it. And June the 1st, that is June 1, 2015, the book will be released. In fact, you can pre-order it now on Amazon. You can go to jackwallen.com and click on it and find the link to it. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I have been in communication with rock stars, and they're awesome, and they're really good people, and they're great musicians. They make good music. Treat yourself to their songs. And after that, like a month after that, TikTok Girl comes out, the sequel to Clockwork Cabaret, my first steampunk novel. The sequel to that comes out in about a month. And then after that, a month or two after that, will be Fry Zombie Fry. Yes, the next book in the iZombie series. And right after that will be the sequel to The Last Casket. That's right, starring Kitty in a Casket, that awesome psychobilly band from Austria. Hopefully after that will be my take on the Frankenstein myth called the Frankenstein Theory. And then maybe, if time allows, I will finally write the sequel to Scream Park or Among You, one of the two. It's a busy, busy year for me. Anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is this week's Jack verse. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned something. I hope that I didn't disturb you with my prowess on the catwalk, because I'm going to hit you with it again. Structure model.